print, email, Facebook, Twitter. More Indigenous artist Lola Greeno keeping shell stringing alive with cultural jewels exhibition. Lola Greeno's shell necklaces tell a story about growing up on a remote Bass Strait island. The renowned Indigenous artists exhibition Cultural Jewels has returned home to Tasmania for Reconciliation Week after travelling the country for 4 years. Ms. Greeno is keeping alive the ancient cultural practice of shell stringing, passing on her knowledge to her family, schools and the community. Her works are a mix of traditional and contemporary stringing and tell a story about life on Cape Barren Island. The necklaces are mostly made of shells, but mutton bird feathers, gum nuts and echidna quills are also used to depict life on the island. The exhibition also displays necklaces made by her daughter and late mother, symbolizing the importance of family in culture. There's a whole lot of stories in this big series of work, Ms. Greeno said. I think it's really important to be grounded in culture. With the shell necklaces, it goes back a long time in history, 5 or 6 generations in my family that we can go back from our women. Ms. Greeno left Cape Barren Island in the late 1950s when she was about 10, but the 72-year-old said her time there was very important in her family's history. The whole family used to pack up and go away for 5 or 6 weeks of the year mutton birding, so there's a piece made of mutton bird feathers, she said. We loved that island life. But it had its challenging sides. When children were sick we had to rely on trying to contact Flinders Island to bring in the doctor. She said she spent a lot of time at the beach collecting shells and learned about necklaces from her mother and grandmother. I saw that as such a significant story and I wanted to ensure that I continued it from my mother and my grandmother and passed it on to my daughter and granddaughters. Ms. Greeno works with school children and other members of the community teaching them how to make shell bracelets and necklaces. She said traditional necklaces were long and made from marina shells which were threaded in sinew from kangaroo and wallaby tails and pierced with a tooth. The shells would be placed in something like a large shell and put in a fire built up with green branches for smoke, and the smoke would become an acid to clean the outer coating of the shells. Ms. Greeno said she takes her family to the beach to collect shells. It's really important to talk about that so my children and grandchildren know about it. She said understanding her culture became even more important when her mother died. If I go, I want to make sure I can tell all my story to my children, grandchildren and nieces. Cultural jewels will be on display at the Tasmanian Museum and Art Gallery until July.